Khorzaire.
the snakes,
No
losing-
extra charge.
losing the raptors.
Zombies, explosions, near-death experiences.
You may lose a couple of raptors along the way, but whatever.
Come with
That's a
the
sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Come with the Moonlight Shepherds for an authentic Khorzaire experience.
Yeah?
Previously on the authentic Khorzaire experience, you boldly flew over a bottomless chasm in the... Oh, my head. You boldly flew over a bottomless chasm in the world instead of volunteering to be flung over with machinery. I don't know why you chose to that, but you know, you can make your own decisions. Falling into this pit would surely spell your certain doom, forever to fall, never to be seen or heard from ever again. It seems that the extra time spent flying one by one over the Laughing Gorge drew the attention of the destroyers of the bridge, so you solved the mystery and met the evildoers head-on in a fight to the death as they catapulted flying snakes from the depths at those traversing the bridge and exploded out of the earth riding huge onkegs, these massive insect things like 8 feet tall. Your assailants were people made out of snakes, or snakes made out of people, or something like that. Anyhow, solving the mystery with the assistance of the Tratos guards, you turned it into a fight, you turned the fight into a flight, and scooted on out of there before it became overwhelming. Xalia, with quick thinking, deterred your pursuers with some choice illusions and conjured a bottomless pit, right?
Yeah, it was a standard pit. I think there was.
Oh, there she goes.
Sorry, am I audible?
Now you are.
Bottomless pit.
You were able to proceed forward. You found a moving rock, you immediately messed with it, and you met a bird. This awakened raven introduced himself as a raven, the smartest of all birds. Why would anybody not lead with that? And some conversation was had. Spotting you were injured, the group asked where a nice place to rest would be, and the raven pointed you in the direction of an encampment. So you pivot your 3 raptors southeast and assume you're about 10 minutes away from this encampment, judging by the size of the silhouettes. What would you like to do?
To free the bird.
I'm sorry, what was that? I had to cough.
Just for this.
I believe it was preen the bird.
The bird is currently relaxing on the raptor piloted by Xalia, Pastiche, and Chuman, so this is possible.
Before.
Yeah, the Raven let you do this before, so the Raven will allow you to do it again. You are successfully pampering the Raven. You can see the Raven kind of like half lit its eyes. He's like, yes, continue.
She's adapting her fingers into specialized apparatus for this purpose.
The Raven approves. This
I
Raven,
suppose.
you'll recall, you look over it again, a couple of the feathers are this shimmering gold, and Raven has an ascot, a sun yellow ascot around his neck.
This is a fancy raven.
He's fashionable.
Zoaz will clear his throat and say, I suppose we should stop over and see if... We'll take a look at our supplies, see if we've lost anything, and perhaps obtain new steeds to replace the ones we'd lost. Any objections?
None here.
I don't know, does the bird object?
Zoaz looks at the bird. Does the bird object?
Oh, would I object to going the direction that I recommended? Of course not.
Zoaz shrugs. Well, speak now or forever hold your peace. And Zoaz will head towards the encampment. with whoever else is on his raptor.
I think that's just me.
Just Makayla.
Okay.
Did you split, I believe?
You can see this encampment up ahead. What you can see through kicked up sand and dust are low tents with peaked roofs. They're just sprawling around across the sand. It creates kind of like an impromptu village. It even has like a central square that has a larger tent and some statues. Some tents have their sides rolled up, revealing chairs, chests, cushions, all portable luxuries that could be packed for a journey. There are many pieces of construction that are in progress. As you get closer, you can see a scaffolding that looks somewhat like a pier, if there were any water, and a large but not huge structure near the scaffolding. You're a bit too far at the moment, though.
Okay.
Probably about 5 minutes away.
Is the Raven coming with us, or are they going off on their...
The Raven is with you.
Okay.
It appears that even if they had other ideas, they are currently overruled with the attention that they're getting.
Alright, just to verify, when we saw...
You cut out
Long
when
or
you said
physically
Saul.
pushing the rock along. Huh?
You cut out when you said the word Saul, what'd you say?
Oh. Pushing the rock along, or physically pushing the rock along?
It was studying the rock. Make a... Make either a history check or just straight intelligence. It's pretty stout. You recall that the Raven mentioned that it was studying the rock. It was not pushing itself, it was studying the phenomenon known as sailing stones, where underneath the initial layer of sand and desert and stuff, there's a layer of ice that gets broken up, and then rocks on top of this layer will follow this melting ice and just sail through the desert. And it was studying that.
Okay.
Okay, if there's nothing more from anybody else, you can go ahead and arrive. We'll bring you over there. So at the at this place, you can see that the scaffolding, the huge structure, it is not displayed on this map, but this huge structure, it appears to be some kind of boat, but rather than with sails for water, like for catching the wind over bodies of water, it has sails on the side, and they appear to have a fan-like structure. It's here. I'll just draw it. Boat. There you go. You got a boat over there. It is under construction, so it looks like that.
Uh-huh. Understandable.
Yeah.
So you can see this. You can see the centerpiece of this this compound is an enormous tent in the middle. It's braced by timbers embedded in kind of a cemented foundation. Each of the tents seem to be held down by metal pegs. That's all of them, not just the one in the middle. Driven deep into the sand. They're very smaller tents, as well as to looks like stable and shelter pack raptors, not unlike your own. There is a 2-man watchtower situated on each end of this outpost, each with an arbalest at the ready on sturdy swivels, with the obvious purpose of impaling wanderers that should, well, wander too close to the camp. As you all come in from this northwest area, you can see bunches of people working, milling around. The noise of the camp lends it a busy atmosphere, despite... I mean, it is kind of bleak around here, despite being in the middle of a desert. But, I mean, Khorzaire is not a harsh desert. It is merely a desert. As you come in, you see these various colors and people walking around. The raven pipes up. The raven changes the music.
Whoa.
No way.
And
Really powerful.
powerful raven change the music. And the raven pipes up and opens a wing towards what looks to be some sort of ballot box. It has a sign and it says name lottery. And the raven says, "If you will be so kind, as visitors, perhaps you would like to name this city. It is nameless, unnamed at the moment. It will surely help make the decision that comes later much easier." If you don't want to, that's fine. I'll simply make fun of you.
Xalia, are there like pieces of paper there?
If you haven't ink, quill, or parchment yourself, we can use the one that is available on theirs.
Xalia starts digging through her bags.
And we simply leave a suggestion?
Yes, the very simple task, you have it right. Hold it up so no one can see, and there is a matter of secrecy.
When do they draw, or is this like a raffle, or just merely suggestions?
The name will be drawn. If you're whichever one is picked shall be winner. It's quite simple.
And they simply let anyone who walks in potentially name a future city.
Yes. So many questions. Just do it. You can see the bird kind of like fruffle up and like turn into an orb. So it appears to be a little frustrated now.
Oh, it's a borb.
Orbing.
Yep. Zoaz just kind of shrugs and keeps walking. Or keeps moving the raptor.
The Lizardfolk is unimaginative. That's fine.
Pastiche is going to dismount their raptor, pat it down, and approach the box.
The Raven also approaches the box and
Yeah.
goes on top of and lands on the box. Lands on top of the sign above the box that says name suggestions. Zoop. Zoop, zoop.
From this position, Pastiche is just going to take a look around the town, see what they see.
Okay, roll perception. What did you get? An 11. You see many people. There are lots of banging noises. People are doing woodworking here. There are people that are preparing and sharpening weapons to obviously keep out wanderers. You can see that mainly people have... Well, sorry, not mainly. There appear to be some groups formed where they're working on a task together. Many people from all kinds of different backgrounds are here. You can see that you're not very far off from it. The main central section appears to be some kind of religious shrine. It's got some structures and some people that are in robes. talking amongst themselves. That's what you can see from your current location. And with an 11. You also see the ballot box. There aren't many suggestions here.
You said there was paper there, right? It cut out a bit.
Yes.
Okay.
Go on, Pastiche. I'm sure you have quite a good suggestion for most of us.
Chuman, please. These things take time.
That is why I leave you to it.
Pastiche looks into the box. Looks at the ground around the box.
There is sand. Rubble. Sand rock. Some tents. Stakes, pegs. There's a basket.
Twig will hop off the raptor and get in line behind Pastiche.
Yes, yes, Q, no need to crowd.
Xalia will write the most nightmarish
No.
you can imagine in Draconic that means absolutely nothing and drop it in the ballot box.
Okay, please DM it to me,
Alright.
because this is a real thing.
I mean... Let me just use one of my free ask that text strings.
After hearing the bird say Q, Pastiche sort of snaps back to reality. Oh, were you all waiting to go? I don't mind if you go in front of me.
Xalia steps back.
Imagine you just like reached around Pastiche with like a really long arms.
Yes.
Twig. Sorry, go ahead. Twig will scribble his suggestion down on a piece of paper and put it inside the box.
Well, I think the matter of naming something belongs to the subject and the maker itself. So I think I'll pass and try and find a way to procure a few more raptors. And Makayla will head like deeper into the encampment.
And Chuman will follow Makayla.
I guess any excuse to shirk your duty is fine.
Hey, more chance for us.
You know what? You have something of the truth there. The Aldani merchant kind of clubs a quill with his pincer. And Korrikan writes his own suggestion. Punctuates putting it in the in the suggestion box with a and you all look expectantly to Pastiche.
Pastiche again approaches the box, grabs a quill, writes something down, folds it up neatly, places it in the box.
Twig is like half-heartedly trying to peek at it.
It'll be hard. But go ahead and roll a sneaky perception. If you get
Ooh.
like 1 billion,
Oh,
I can do that. I'm pretty sure I can hit
yeah,
that.
that's easy. It's called expertise.
Okay.
You got a billion right there.
It's up to Pastiche. How secret are you keeping this?
A 26 would definitely see.
Okay. Pastiche, please share what you wrote with Twig.
Well.
The Raven, satisfied. Thank you very much. Let's see here. I'll reconvene with you. I have to go. How do I say? I have to go get a situation report from a few of these people. This is something of an outpost, as crosses on trade routes and such. As you can see, we are building here a different mode of transportation. I'd be happy to tell you about it, but after I conclude my initial business. So long! And then flap, 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 flap. You can see Raven flaps over towards a group of 4, wearing kind of loose-fitting clothing, bandanas, and such, and flaps over, perches on top of a little post that is stretching an awning to the ground, and converses with them. And you are free to go about your business.
Zoaz is sort of ambling around, looking for potential stables where she could acquire some raptors.
Okay. Go ahead and investigate. Makayla and Chuman, go ahead and also investigate. Zoaz, you do... it's a small encampment. You do see where raptors are being sheltered.
Mm-hmm.
And you make your way over there. However, during your travel across this outpost, you hear, "You have got to be kidding me!" And a slam of a crate goes down, and whirling towards this noise, you see a red dragonborn staring at you angrily. He takes a step. Behind him, obviously Viravelge, is it appears he has a companion. Is a blue fellow with sort of like webbed winged ears and a mohawk, the color of seaweed. We got kind of this grin on his face.
Zoaz stares at Viravelge, who he knows is Viravelge,
and points at
you. Do I know you?
Do I know you? You are the cause of all my troubles. You and your group that keeps following you around.
As this is happening, Pastiche is going to attempt to sneak behind Viravelge and keep moving.
Make a stealth check.
I'm gonna see if I can spot Pastiche trying to sneak around.
It's pretty obvious.
Oh, is it? Okay.
You easily
I don't
spot
know.
You really
Pastiche.
couldn't if you roll a 20.
Yeah, you easily spot Pastiche, who just kind of like tiptoes through the sand behind Viravelge. But you see this because Pastiche is not hidden from you. Pastiche is hidden from Viravelge.
Zoaz looks at Pastiche and says, Pastiche, do we know this man?
Pastiche keeps moving. Slowly passes by the Ravens group without making eye contact with anyone.
Zoaz shrugs. I don't think we know you. Have a nice day, and keeps walking.
Viravelge whirls upon whoever you're speaking to, Zoaz. and you, Wait, get back here! So as you manage to escape, you can go any direction you like.
Zoaz is gonna head this way. Away.
Vera and as they was walking towards the Raven as well.
Say again?
She looks
You cut
exactly
it.
like.
You cut out there.
Sorry. She is shapeshifted. Her clothes glamour to make her clothes look exactly like his. So looking exactly like him, she just walks right past it.
I see.
You shapeshifted to whom?
Alright, we cut out?
Who did you shapeshift to?
I believe it was Viraval.
You may need to raise the sensitivity on your mic, Val. Because, you're cutting out a lot.
Okay. Alright, as you as you change your body to the same build and structure of one Viruval's Red Dragonborn, and use your special clothing to also mimic his clothing and walk past him.
Yeah.
You succeed in confusing Viruval, who just at this point just kind of like stammers and mumbles and points, and then looks at his companion that you haven't seen before, and looks back. Looks at the companion, looks back, looks at the companion, looks back, just the companion just shrugs.
Xalia forms a pattern in the scales of a hand. She waves that hand at him as she walks by.
The companion is mutters, "You don't seem to have a very commanding presence. We'll have to work on that so you can be more commanding." Alright.
As Twig walks by, he sees Viraval and his eyes light up. He spreads his arms and says, "Buddy, it's good to see you again."
Who, what now? Viraval whirls upon Twig.
Listen, I'd love to stay in chat, but I have some raptors to buy, so I'll be seeing you. He starts following Zoaz.
You wait. Nah. Oh yeah, we'll be seeing each other. Yeah, just you wait. There's a mocking from behind him. Well done, yes. The Red Dragon picks up the crate that they unceremoniously tossed, and they go about working. Let's see here. People that are looking for raptors can arrive at Raptorland for all your raptor needs.
Oh. I'm glad that they have a raptor land here.
They don't. I'm just
sure.
being silly.
Stags, he realizes that he mistook raptor land, another merchant area, for raptor land.
It appears that there are 2 raptors here, and there's one merchant-looking lady. There's just a bunch of people bustling around. And then to your somewhat behind you is someone working with some wood, and but there ahead of you is a merchant-looking lady, and she appears to have 2 raptors.
Hello, ma'am. Zoaz will start.
Yes. Excuse me. Yes. What is it?
You seem to be of a mercantile sort, and you seem to have some raptors. Would you be able to sell those raptors to my group? We had an unfortunate accident and lost a few of ours.
Oh no.
You know how these deserts can be.
I can only imagine what sort of accident. That's terrible to hear, but these are my raptors. I need them with my own peddling of goods. I must say they're not for sale.
Understandable. Would you happen to know of anyone in town that would be able to sell us some?
I'm afraid that you won't have much luck with that here. Everyone here, while we do have raptors, everyone else here that has a raptor is using them to shuttle goods back and forth from Lux Nox. I doubt that they'll easily part ways with one.
Zoaz frowns. I see. Well, thank you for the information. It is much appreciated regardless.
Certainly.
What is going on in this town? Well, I'm somewhat of a traveler, and I can't say I recognize this motley crew.
Well, they are. This is an outpost. They're building a. They're building a site. I've actually been contracted to help with goods orders, and they've run into some troubling times with some food and water since we're a little bit away from Luxnox. But what they're doing here, yes, sorry, they are building a testing site for the Dune Skimmer. What that quite is, I can only imagine, but I can look at that boat-like thing on the other end of the outpost, and I can imagine that that's what a Dune Skimmer is. Work's been quite halted for a little while. They were waiting on the foreman to return.
I see. Thank you very much.
Indeed. Looks like they're always looking for new help. If you're here for a while, you might, if you're good with a hammer and nail, you might help. But yeah, I wish you good travels. Sun at your backs and all that.
Zoaz will nod and do a little bow, and then continue walking.
While that was going on, Pastiche would have made a point to slow down significantly while passing the Ravens group and inconspicuously listen in on their conversation.
Okay. Alright. 26. Would you roll with 24 stealth? Give me an inconspicuous perception. Alright. Inconspicuous perception. You're perhaps more focused on staying out of sight than you are able to be perceptive. You realize that this raven has a set of beady eyes, and you're trying to stay out of sight of those as much as possible. You get snippets. The bird is talking to these four, and exchanging information. You don't get like full sentences or anything, but you get the concept of the bird has brought something, and construction is underway that these four people report. You get the idea that these four people are higher up on the command chain around here, and they're just reporting like how things are going, and setbacks, all that kind of thing. Construction progress to the bird. They have the the bugbear individual has a clipboard, so looking very official. They're crossing off things as a conversation happens, and they cross something off. The conversation happens, cross something off. Looks like they were prepared for this bird's return, or this bird's arrival.
Okay.
But you're not able to hear much because you rolled a 9.
Right.
You can see what they're
Play after them as Viravalge.
Say it again?
Xalia walks directly up to them as Viravalge.
Ah, yes. The bugbear turns around and says, "Oh, this one's been very helpful. Viravalge, we appreciate you. You've been great with the heavy lifting." with Virvalj and his companion Kozos, I think we can increase our... No, that's not the right word. I think we can expedite our completion time by at least a few weeks. The food and water that you brought, Foreman, is definitely very helpful. That'll keep morale going. But I must say that it kind of turns around away from Virvalj, Xalia, and continuing the conversation. But Foreman,
When he looks away, Xalia starts playing with the shadows, like the length between scales.
Alright, you were able to freely do this as there are no eyes upon you.
Yeah.
You catch no one's attention. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, we'll leave open to interpretation. Let's see, the bugbear says, but Foreman, these water people, the bird kind of clacks his beak. They're being annoying, yes. I'll look into it. And the conversation just kind of goes on from there. How many wanderers have assaulted us recently? The bird says. Well, Foreman, it was 2 this day. Total of 17 while you were out. Alright. Well, let's make sure that we have armaments, the obelisks, in working condition. So it'll take a watchful eye the moment we don't keep a watchful eye, and it'll allow these wanderers to show up. You just keep talking. Probably about this time, the bugbear turns around and realizes you're still there, Xalia, and like makes a hand motion to dismiss you. Go on, will you go hammer the thing?
Xalia bows deeply and walks away, like just bows deeply. Skirting the big tent.
Okay.
Tension of drawing gaze to original Virvalj.
Oh, he's probably maybe over here by now then.
Oh, damn. Never mind.
Okay. Khorzaire starts playing cards with this raptor.
Dang, that's a talented raptor.
I need what he's got.
Let's see, Pastiche, you can see as you maneuver around, the bird kind of flaps out a wing, and then there's a poof of cloud stuff, just it's like a cartoon cloud. It goes pop, and then out drops maybe 4 rolled up parchments, a barrel, and a book that can only be described as a tome because of its size. It's a biggin. It's probably got 400 pages on it. And by 400 pages, I mean 800.
Huh.
Bird hops over and then just grabs one of the scrolls in its beak and then flicks it up to the bugbear, who catches it easy. Then says a little there, just recite that, we'll last you. Oh, but do it over here. Of course, with the barrel. You can see as the bugbear begins to start opening his mouth, it's like, no, 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 you fool. You can see just anybody that is just milling around on the east side of this encampment. You can see this bugbear reading from a parchment, and as they finish reading, the parchment kind of burns from the bottom up. It just goes and disappears into fire, and in the barrel, water noise just is an entire barrel full of clean water.
Probably around this time, Pastiche drops the idea of being inconspicuous and is just kind of standing around watching what's happening.
Okay. You see the spectacle. The bird, who was perched on top of the barrel, just hops off, and then now underneath some shade of the awning, like scoots the book underneath the shade of the awning, like with their head, and you can see them open it with their beak, flip through a couple hundred pages, and you can see them kind of hop back and forth on the book as they're reading.
Pastiche is going to approach and see if they can get a good look at the book.
The bird notices you far in advance before you can get anywhere near the book. Yes, hello, Pastiche, what can I do for you?
I was curious. I did not know you had a book.
I'm sorry, is the town too boring for you? That a bird with a book is the most exciting thing.
Well, I haven't seen much of the town yet. I'm interested. You are a fascinating specimen.
A specimen. Yes, I suppose that's the correct word. Fascinating is also accurate. Yes, go on, continue, flatter.
Well, I simply intended to observe and learn what you are up to.
Well, as far as what I am up to, you don't need to observe to tell or to understand that. I'll simply tell you. See, our dune skimmer, bird waves a wing to the north. Our dune skimmer is not quite built yet, but looks like we are proceeding apace. The group here ran out of food and water, and unfortunately the religious types that we brought along us for that purpose are being uncooperative, so I had to go and fix the problem myself. Now, I lacked a spell to create food and water, so I had to simply go and get it. This will last us for a little while, but perhaps not a long while. Depending on our renewed vigor on our construction. Looks towards the bugbear and this crew. You can see like they're kind of motley. Like one's wearing a poet blouse, the other's got like a vest. They appear to have cutlasses and bandanas. They look like they're not from around here, that they've been displaced, but they've found some work here. That's the kind of people they look like.
Okay.
When the bird hems towards them, they kind of look around and they just kind of scatter and attempt to look busy and go back to work. The bugbear lingers around, like, oh yes, well, we'll get back to work, Foreman. I'll meet you later, and we'll reconvene, and we'll go over the rest of the situation, shall we? Yes, of course. I'm sorry,
So-
where were we, Pastiche?
This sand skimmer, was it?
Dune skimmer, but that's fine. No marks deducted. You only heard it once.
Right. Well, you are heading its construction?
That's correct. It is an idea that Ms. Zilzare, Raincaller came up with. So that sounded great, so contracted me to oversee its development. It is going to be a new mode of transportation, Pastiche. Something that doesn't involve catapulting things across a bottomless chasm. I have no ill will towards Demio's full marks to his bravery and ingenuity, but he just got stuck on the first idea that worked. We need something better. And this, the Dune Skimmer, is going to be better. What'll happen is it will be launched and then glide long distances. We can have this transport Khorzian citizens across any part of the expanse instead of just where the catapults are.
Well, it certainly seems ambitious.
Ambitious indeed. You see, ambition is an inventive mother.
Do you have blueprints? A prototype?
The prototype
Anything
is
that shows it working in action?
the prototype is right there, but as far as blueprints, I suppose any other construction worker would scoff at it, but it's all up here, and kind of waves a wing towards his head.
Well, far be it from me to question your work, but you are a bird, yes? You can fly.
That's correct.
If something should go wrong, what is everyone else's recourse?
Well, that's precisely why we're not testing it over the bottomless pit.
I understand, yes, but you will have to test it at some point.
That's correct.
Do you have a plan for this?
Yes, launch it and see it glide.
Well,
Oh, you mean the people riding it? Do we have? Frankly, I didn't think about that. So I guess that answer is no. But give me a moment. I have changed the answer to yes, Pastiche.
that is reassuring.
Yes. Should something go wrong, and please let me be direct. Nothing will go wrong. Thing will glide as daintily as a bird. If anything should go wrong, I am confident that we can arrange it so that anyone else riding it during its maiden voyage will flitter as daintily to the ground as one of my feathers.
Well, should you require any extra assistance on that front, and should I be in the area, I would be honored to help you.
Alright, Pastiche. What area do you plan on being in for the next 2 weeks?
I believe my party was headed to Luxnox.
It's not terribly far. Pastiche, I'll give you a jingle. Should I need you, after all?
Yes, of course. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Indeed. Cheerio, or chitty bye. So long. Goodbye. Have a good afternoon. Just continue saying things until you walk away. And then when you do, Raven turns back and resumes looking through this very large book.
What's going on with this group of goblins and the hobgoblin over here in the?
Yeah, so you come across a group of goblins being not yelled at, but like barked at by this hobgoblin. This hobgoblin has a like a finger pointed at them and just yelling out things in what language do you know?
Not goblin.
In a language you don't understand.
Mhm.
They appear to be like in formation. They're just like yes. They say like one word. Answers just like yes, yes, yes. And
Didn't I hear them?
say it again.
I think I'm sort of just with that group. What are?
Oh, okay.
Would I hear the goblins?
Yeah, they're doing inventory.
Oh.
The hobgoblin is yelling, 7 planks, yes. 800 reams of sail, yes. Glue, yes. Hammers, no. Why not? the Dragonborn has all the hammers. Go get them, yes. Water, no. Why not? Well, you know why.
Sir, it's a desert.
Go get the water! You can see a goblin dejectedly trundle over towards the middle tent and just kind of go in.
Trundle's a good word.
And they just continue. They continue taking inventory. They're shouting out. The hobgoblin is shouting out various construction implements and instruments and other things. The goblins are just yes, no, why not, that kind of thing. This continues on for about 5 minutes before the goblins all disperse and go working, like start working on things. The hobgoblin scales the tower and starts messing with the arbalest and grabs a spyglass, and he looks to be a sentry. Probably about this time you see Pastiche.
Well, it seems like we'll be hard pressed to convince any of these hardworking fellows to give up their raptors, even. Oh, though I suppose we do have a lot of money. Maybe we could simply.
Can hardly blame them, but to be honest, I would rather not spend an exorbitant amount of money on expediting the trip.
Mhm.
When in reality, it would just be longer, not necessarily too much harder.
No.
We are not that far from Luxnox after all.
No, but then we should. Well, like what time of the day is it? It's like sort of.
It's probably afternoon.
Afternoon?
It is
Yeah.
between
How high in the sky is the sun?
Yeah, it is between 1 and 4
Okay.
p.m. Khorzaire time.
To be honest, I think it would be best if we did not move out during the full heat of the day. Give it a little time to start cooling down, and you can always start a fire. And by the time the day rolls around, I should be able to handle supplies for the journey. With Selene's blessing, of course.
Of course. I was just about to suggest trying to make some sort of camp here for the night. For the rest of the day. Give our raptors a well-needed rest before
Indeed.
the last leg of the trip. They are probably
bad
much
idea.
more than their weight. So,
To be honest, spending more time here probably just gives us more opportunities to obtained some extra supplies. Though the
If
chance
there's
is
any-
slim.
Yeah, if they have any despair, really.
Yes.
Seems everything is going into some work or other around here.
Oh, we should most likely round up the others and inform them of the plan. Ah, there's Pastiche.
Greetings. I was just observing our raven friend.
And
They are important here.
I would assume that they believe they are important everywhere.
No, you don't understand. That ship over there. The Dune Skimmer, they call it. The Raven is in charge of its construction.
I see.
Let me interrupt. As Pastiche points at this dune skimmer, so-called, and you're able to get a good look at it. It is a narrow boat. Its bottom does not have a keel, but on its side it has these huge fan like wings. They kind of fold and open like an accordion. Or like a fan. Like a folding fan. On its top is a single swivelly sail, like you would see on like a wind rider on an ocean or a bay. It appears overall light construction. It doesn't have it doesn't look to be made out of like heavy, like 2x4, like not 2x4, like heavy wood. It appears to be made out of a light wood that seems to be either extremely thin or hollow. It's an interesting construction. It is unique to look at.
Okay.
It looks like, you know, a sand skimmer. It looks like a dune skimmer. It looks like something that could float and carry at least a few people, given a good enough paper airplane chuck.
Zoaz looks at it for a moment. Thanks. Well, I would be loath to... I would be a fool to be upset with the development of something that could potentially make transportation across the deserts of Khorzaire safer, though I fear for my job. But let's hope that the construction goes well.
I'm sure you'll find a place. That is the future of navigation on this continent. Though,
Selene will guide me regardless.
you said the bird was in charge of the operation?
That seems to be the case. They are ordering people around, bringing supplies, reading a massive book.
And they said who? So curious in who they say their bosses are. But I suppose it's the bird's business.
Frankly, I am interested in the bird's business. I'd love to see the final product in action.
I don't think we'll stick around for that long, but maybe you'll be lucky enough to see it one day. I hope we don't end up sticking around that long.
It's not the plan currently. Speaking of the plan, do we have everyone? Zoaz looks around and spots Korokon and Xalia, I assume.
Yeah, Xalia.
Or Viravalj, actually.
I mean, Xalia looks like Viravalj.
Yeah,
So,
you see Viravalj. But you see Korokon.
mostly kind of.
Yes. Zoaz will ignore Viravalj
Very closely.
once again and move over to sort of inform Korokon that the group is over here and that we're going to talk a little bit about travel plans.
Sure thing, Zoaz.
Is Korokon still playing cards with the raptor?
The raptor has one.
Oh,
Oh no.
so,
You guys find
That raptor is
yourself
a menace.
the raptor is a menace. The raptor kind of like appears to be gloating, just like holding its head high and just raptor noises. Korokon appears nonplussed.
Moves into a bird.
You guys can hold your conference out here, but it's like sandy, hot. You can pull up a couple barrels or and like some crates as chairs, or you can seek something inside a tent.
well, there's some shade over here.
Yeah.
Zoaz will probably walk over to stand in the shade, or sit in the shade, as it were.
Yeah, you guys pull up a crate that does not seem to be in use and get underneath the awning of this large central tent. Has like a little pennant waving at the top. And enough shade for the 6 of you, should Vera Valge join, to converse and be comfortable. There's a there's a cool breeze that kind of flitters around this central tent that it wasn't hot. It wasn't like overbearingly hot in the first place, but now it's rather pleasant here.
Nice.
It's it carries the faint smell of water on it. What's Vera Valge doing? Vera Valge Xalia?
Currently just kind of poking at the walls, grabbing it.
You're looking at, what was it? And you're poking at walls?
Walls. The tent. The central tent.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the central tent. So you're looking inside, or just like checking out the outside?
Outside. Specifically,
I didn't hear specifically what you were doing. Well, after the word specifically.
she's kind of like grabbing at the makeup of it, just kind of looking at it.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
She's looking at like the patterns in the folds and whatnot, because I don't know, that's what she feels like.
Yeah. Roll me some investigation as you investigate this. A 19's pretty good. So yeah, you are checking out the central tent, Vera Xalia and Vera Valgia, and the tent has kind of wavy patterns that give off a like a sense of water, like a sense of waves, a sense of rivers, that kind of thing. Vera Valgia sounds like a Zelda boss, yeah. Xalia is a Zelda boss. The stakes, the poles that are driven down, they're just regular wood. Some of their metal looks like just anything was brought to nail down the awnings and the tent poles, just whatever was available. But the makeup of the tent, indeed, wavy, watery. It is overall a cream color with blue embroidery with the waves. Large awnings. The awnings don't have any kind of embroidery. It looks like they're patched on, like sewn on after the fact. You can see a couple statues, and with an excellent investigation, and also this is specifically what you're doing, the statues are depicting a familiar octopus fellow. This is obviously a temple in reverence of Dagon. Lots of little tentacles going everywhere. Yeah.
And Xalia just kind of slowly, you'll see a tentacle beard grow out from Vera Valge's chin.
And during your investigation, you can see your crew having a powwow. There is an entrance to the middle tent, where the goblin. You saw a goblin kind of like sadly walk in. You can peek in, and there are a few robed people.
She's not peeking in, she's just walking in.
Oh, okay. You walk in, and Viva Valgia walks in, and you can see a couple robed people. They are kind of like talking bad to this goblin. They're belittling him. At the point where you walk in, there is a let's see here. There is a Loxodon in the middle, and flanked by what appear to be two humans. Here, let me bring those dudes up. So there's a Loxodon wearing this large kind of garment that goes all the way down the front of his face and down the trunk, in between the tusks, and goes all the way down the trunk.
Okay.
And at the point where you walk in, you just hear a deep, "Now be gone!" And the goblin kind of shrugs. Appears like they're not really affected. Like they... yeah, it just appears that they're not really like affected by this, and they just kind of walk back, pass you, and then that's it.
Xalia,
Go ahead.
look around. Xalia will just look around inside, wander around.
Okay. In here are... there is a dried up fountain. It's like a two-tier fountain where it's got the big base and then like a little like a spout in the middle. It's dried up, spews no water. There are just a little bit of living accommodations. There's chairs, crates, plenty of barrels, and kind of like those long cushions that have a head cushion at one end that are designed to lay on. There's several of those, and just these three people kind of talking amongst themselves. It appears that you have been noticed, and one of them hails you. "Viva Valge," the Loxodon says as they step towards you. "What brings you here?"
Xalia waves a beard at the Loxodon and continues looking around.
"Viva Valge, have you come to give your prayers to Dagon in hopes that we be blessed with water?"
Did you catch that I said she waved a tentacle at him?
Oh, no, I did not. Let's see. They are... going to be confused by this. Hang on.
I wonder why.
What's the point?
It's kind of a weird thing to be confused by, IMO.
Standard Xalia maneuver.
The Loxodon... Okay, the two humans behind the Loxodon kind of like lower their hips and go into a stance. The Loxodon reaches out towards you.
Alright.
The Loxodon reaches
This
out
is
towards
bad.
you and says, "Viva Valge, are you injured? What has happened to you?"
Xalia and just kind of open her mouth, except the top of half of her jaw is at a 45-degree angle to the bottom half. And she's gonna go, eh,
Just
and then turn around and just keep wandering.
Okay. The Loxodon is going to yell, "Help! Help! We're being invaded! There are wanderers inside the camp!"
What's inside the camp? Oh, wander?
You can hear this from,
Thalia's gonna
from inside.
Thalia's gonna kind of like look actually offended
What?
and just, you know, brought out a few more tentacles throughout from between and messing with, like, you know, prying them close and far apart.
Okay. Being closest, you five.
She's gonna make indignant hit motions.
Yeah, you five hear this. This cry for help, for aid. You five hear this, and you can ostensibly arrive to the scene first.
Yeah, Zoaz would run over there.
Hold on, let me turn on the Wanderer music. Alright. Here we go. Zoaz. You hear the calls for help. Help! Wanderers in the camp! Bellowing out, and you leap to attention. And you rush inside, and you find... Dun dun dun! Wait, here, let me move these guys back. Zoaz, you find a red dragonborn, one arm a tentacle, and their head kind of moving back at a 45-degree angle. You hear the sound of eh.
Yeah, okay, so it's not like the head is moving back, it's that the left side of her face is going up higher than the right side of her face.
Okay. Retcon, you see this.
Uh,
And you see three people in robes. Two of them have a battle stance ready towards this possessed red dragonborn, and a Loxodon reaching out with their right Loxodon extremity. They appear frightened and also that kind of thing. And there's just tentacles sprouting from this red dragonborn.
Has Zoaz seen a wanderer like this? I'm gonna roll. Zoaz is gonna see if he remembers a wanderer like this.
Okay. 17. You have not seen a wanderer like this, but you rolled high enough that you don't make one up.
Uh-huh. Zoaz thinks for a moment, that's no wonder.
Twig
I think
turns-
Thalia's...
Sorry, go ahead.
You go first.
You know what? Let's because it's funny. Let's roll initiative.
Okay.
Alright, Zoaz, we'll give you initiative. I'm going to update your initiative.
Okay.
Okay. Zoaz is first. Has already taken his turn with the conversation. Someone else can go next. Someone that is not Twig or Xalia can go next.
Pastiche is just going to peek around into the opening of the tent.
You hear that's no wanderer. You see a red dragonborn like positively sprouting with tentacles. A beard of tentacles. With a with a sloped head.
Pastiche is going to walk into the tent and place an arm on the dragonborn's shoulder. Hello?
The tentacles on the shoulder.
Sorry, they what? You cut out.
We're not able to hear you, Xalia.
Oh, sorry. Oh, no.
Oh, there we go. What did the tentacles do?
The tentacles on the shoulder that he touched just waved back at him.
What a quote! What did the tentacles?
Oh, they wait back.
All right, the tentacles wave. The tentacles wave at you, Pastiche.
Okay. Pastiche is going to lean around the Dragonborn.
I'm sorry, I believe this is one of ours.
Roll a persuasion check, my guy. Let's contest. Oh my god. Yeah, sorry, lost this one. Thanks for finding. Alright, Pastiche, you appear to have garnered the Loxodon's attention, and they appear receptive to you. And your group. Next. Let's see, Chuman or Makayla?
Yeah, I think.
Or Chuman and Makayla.
Kayla looked like peeking into the entranceway, seeing this. It's like, oh.
You see Pastiche on a tentacled dragonborn, with a claw. Yeah. You hear one of ours.
Is there actually a wonder in there, or is it just... Did you... Makayla, no, Xalia, did you do something? You didn't summon a shadow fiend or whatever, did you?
Xalia shakes her head.
Okay. Anything from Chuman Esquire?
I think that might still be FK.
No.
Okay.
I think Chuman will kind of be behind Zoaz looking in, but it doesn't do anything yet. But he's just kind of observing the situation itself.
Alright. You appear to have shaken the resolve of one of them. They take a step forward, but not enough to traverse 5 feet, and they just kind of look to their, to the Loxodon, looking for guidance. So Twig, what you got?
Twig is gonna peek inside the tent and see a betentacled Viravalge. And he's just gonna look around and scan, like, you see Zoaz, Makayla, Chuman, Korkon's off in the distance, but there's no Xalia.
You see a bird hurriedly flying in your direction.
Twig's gonna enter the tent and just say, "Listen, that's no wonder. Me and Viravalge, we go way back, ever since our days in Hollandaise. He just caught some sort of sickness. Just needs to get some bed rest and he'll be fine."
Okay.
No wonder.
All of you, let's see. Twig, roll persuasion. I'll give you a bonus of a +5 to it.
+5?
Rogue.
Good thing there's a +5 on that.
That's no teapot.
Uh-huh.
That's no. All right. Let's see here. The Loxodon kind of frumples and clacks their staff. That they have a staff, by the way. Clacks their staff and kind of sheepishly looks at Viva Revalgia plus tentacles. Looks at and asks, perhaps I was too hasty. What affliction? What affliction ails you? Perhaps we can help. And I am one guided from Dagon. If it is an affliction that is, I can only assume tied to Dagon with the tentacles, perhaps I have a curiously specific and topical way of curing it. We're out of initiative order now. Anybody can respond.
He's just gonna kind of shrug and titter.
I have a sneaking suspicion this is no ailment at all.
Please come closer. I can remove this curse from you.
What I mean to say is that this is a shape-shifting companion of mine. Most likely, at least.
As Zoaz says that, Pastiche will kind of tug at Xalia's shoulder, step in front of her.
You do not need to remove anything.
Harumph! I do not approve of... This must be some kind of joke.
She is wont to do so. Perhaps I should double check. Xalia, that is you, right?
Response, she will open Vera Val's mouth very wide, and it'll just kind of hole.
Yes, that is indeed Xalia. My apologies.
So titter.
The raven comes in and lands on the dried up fountain at this point. Doesn't say anything, just watches.
Sorry to have caused any fright and concern. It's just how she is.
Well, I don't think she's sorry, but I certainly am.
A raven voice pops up. Boljum, you can't even discern a changeling away from an undead menace wandering the sands.
In his defense, we've seen a few strange-looking undead. Some of them... Trust me, I've been on this continent for a long time, and even I haven't even seen some of these before.
Yes. Well... Boljum, don't interrupt
Taylor's gonna
me.
wander.
But Boljum, don't interrupt me again. We are this close to having such a breakthrough in Khorzaire transportation, and you have so far been entirely uncooperative. Please, either be helpful or be gone. The bird flies out.
Xalia wanders up to the fountain and kind of pokes at it. Gigi and Beth.
It makes dried fountain noises.
Well,
Yeah.
Like some
Understand
sand shifts, just like psh, and then falls, and like it is warm to the touch. It's stone, definitely. Somehow sand got in all over it instead of water. Like it's been dried up for some time.
He nods. continue poking at the fountain with Viravelge's tentacle arms.
Viravelge's tentacle arms, like he has some.
Well, yeah, he does, clearly. Look at him.
Yeah, you're right. Look at him. Okay. You tentacle the fountain.
Uh-huh.
Pastiche is going to turn to Xalia briefly, then turn back to Bojum.
Bojum, was it?
Yes.
Have we cleared up any confusion here?
Yes.
Pastiche kind of stares him down while backing out of the tent.
Carry on.
The Loxodon turns around and just consorts with his cohort.
Well, no harm, no foul.
Zoaz clears his throat. Xalia, I hate to impose, but it may be best not to impersonate someone out in the desert like this. It's, people are on edge when there are dangers such as wanderers about, you see.
Oh, there was no
She
harm
shrugs.
done.
See, minor illusions, the exact voice clip of him showing up and immediately yelling at us.
Well, I tried my best. Zoaz will walk back to where we were sitting down before the commotion.
Yo! As you're all walking out, you can hear Bojum's deep bellow, kind of like, doesn't do it on purpose so that other people can hear, but it's just the nature of having a deep voice that carries. As you're all exiting, like at the moment you're exiting, he just says it like a little too loud. Says this irrigation project is a perversion of Dagon's teachings. Hi, blah 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 blah. And it's like you're too far away now to hear it.
Makayla just says, if anyone else is around, as she's leaving, it's like, this is word of advice. Nothing good ever happens in a church, in a temple or church. Try to stay out of them as much as you can.
Xalia just kind of snaps back to her default look, like it's just she bulges slightly for a bit and then just... She then does an exaggerated, extended arm, extended shoulder shrug.
Alright. What's the plan?
Well, Zoaz would probably inform the rest of the group that wasn't around to hear about, well, maybe not inform, but float the idea of staying the night here to give the raptors some time to rest before setting out in the morning. To the rest of the group that wasn't around to hear it initially. So, if there's any dissent, or if anyone else has any ideas, of course, speak now or forever hold your peace. I would love to hear them. But, at the very least, I think we should wait until the heat dies down.
It would afford me a chance to observe the Dune Skimmer's construction.
Well, don't get too excited, it would most likely be just for one night, but...
I said observe.
Go ahead. Don't see us having any reason to stop you. Just don't get into any trouble.
Have I ever?
At least once or twice. Seem to remember coming across a half-dead twig, and they scared out of their wits Pastiche in an alley one time.
That wasn't my fault.
But it wasn't fault that we were assigning here, was it? Just if you had gotten into trouble or not.
Pastiche looks to Twig.
Yeah, it was no one's fault.
That's right. That was all Feather's doing.
Zoaz
Same
sighs.
feather that you then just happened to stumble across the last time we were in. You do seem to stumble into people, what?
Well, I am a people person.
Fair enough. I suppose we should try and find a decent spot to. But, see if there's any supplies we can procure from anyone here, or maybe if there's perhaps just a decent spot to make camp for later.
Yes, don't worry too much about the supplies. Tomorrow morning I will beseech Selene for help, and she has not yet let me down. So, I believe even in the worst case scenario, we will be fine.
Okay. Fair enough. Might still be things that would be nice to have.
Indeed. I believe they've also had some trade routes going from here to Lux Nux, so some information about the road ahead could certainly be good. Well,
You know, it might.
unless... Oh, go ahead.
Speaking of information, it might be. It might be wise to ask around this encampment, see if anyone knows any of if there's any recent news at Lux Nox before we actually enter it. Just in case there's any certain happenings. It'd be nice to know going in for a change.
Zoaz nods.
Well, I suppose I can get started on that. I'll ask around.
All right.
We'll meet later. Go ahead.
Zoaz nods. And does a little wave.
What's the plan, everybody?
I guess Makayla's gonna go around seeing if there's any news from Lux Nox.
Okay.
Like, is there anything?
Twig would
A
want to
note.
follow her as well.
All right. Makayla, secret detectives.
Not being particularly secret.
Secret.
Just asking around.
Open public detectives.
Makayla Columbo arc?
One more thing.
Just one more thing.
All right.
We're feeling particularly invigorated from last night's drink. Pastiche is going to approach their Raven friend, inform them of the situation, and ask if there's anything they can do to help for the day.
Okay. Let's see. Hang on, I'm writing this down because we're about to take a break real quick.
Sure.
Ask around.
I think,
What's your name? Pastiche.
Right, were you about to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I think Chuman will be helping set up camp.
Okay. Alright. I know what Korakon's doing. Zoaz and Xalia.
Hello.
I think
what's the
Zoaz-
plan?
I think Zoaz would just be taking a walk around the camp, seeing who's who and what's where and that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Xalia is, having gone back to herself, probably just messing around. She might be trying to take a nap, actually, because fucking tired after running around and using most of her spells to fly.
Alright, sure. You can happily take a short rest. That's
Yeah, I mean,
the first one.
doesn't do anything for her, but...
Yeah. So the first one's it's a 30-minute short rest.
Yep.
Alright, cool. We'll come back to that. We're gonna take a 5-minute break.
Cool.
Okay.
Unpause recording. We're now back. Okay, so the group breaks and begins trudging around the encampment. Sand softly between their boot soles, toes, talons, claws, what have you. For Xalia, it's at any given moment, what have you. Xalia messes around for a little bit, and then the sudden fatigue and lethargy of the day catch up to her, and she kind of splays out into the shade and gets a rest. So as starts walking around, so as you can see, your companions and charges also walking around. Chuman, you're looking for a good spot to camp. Go ahead and roll me a survival. Twig and Makayla, give me one of you, or each of you, roll just general charisma check, or one of you can roll with advantage. Okay.
What's your charisma?
+1. I think I can let Makayla do the talking.
Okay. Well, I'm only +2 in black charisma. I just have expertise in persuasion. So it's a charisma check.
Yeah.
With advantage.
Yeah. The talk to the people. Okay.
13.
Alright. Chuman, you do find a spot that appears to be out of the walking way, so not disturbing anybody's paths or anything, and also suitable to set up a tent and lodgings and such. You spend the rest of your time setting this up by yourself, so it takes you a good amount of time. Twig and Makayla, you... Let's see here. You find... a gentleman wearing a blue cerulean colored hood, something of a sand wrap. You get his attention. Yes, hello. How can I help you?
Hello, sir. We happen to be just traveling on our way to Luxnox and stopping here for the rest of the evening. Would you happen to have any news of or coming from the city?
He kind of like puts one leg up on a crate, rests his arm on the crate leg. It's like, well, having just come from Luxnox, I sure can. He gives you like a little grin that shows off some of his teeth. He's got sparkly whites. It sparkles in the sunlight.
Well, please go ahead.
Oh yes, of course. He takes his takes his free arm, he gestures with it wildly. It's like, well, you see. I'm sorry, you're looking for rumors inside Luxnox.
Just what the word is from the city. If there's any major news, stuff like that, you know.
Well, I wouldn't say there's much in the way of major news. I have noticed that perhaps this is just my opinion, but I've felt a little less safe inside Luxnox. Imagine that, right? Imagine anyone saying that. Safest city in Khorzaire. But something's off. I feel a different aura from the Dunestriders. Something like that. And I've heard about a few more instances of thievery and happenings and goings on. There's even the word of unscrupulous, rapscallion, rough affairs.
Of course.
So,
Twig shakes his head.
something interesting going on, but perhaps it's just all in my head. Us merchants have always got something nipping at our heels anyway.
Were you about to say something, Clark?
At the mention of rapscallions, Twig is just gonna shake his head and say, terrible.
Terrible indeed. What's a merchant to do if their goods and their livelihood are not safe?
Has there been more thievery, specifically, in the city, or...?
Now, I'm not sure if I'm a good barometer, but I did hear about a few more.
Huh.
More than normal, of course.
Question to you, so have we noticed any Dunestriders in this settlement?
No.
None at all? Okay.
The only people that appear to be on lookout is that hobgoblin, and that you saw like actually ascend the tower. So it looks like the people that guard this area are done on shifts, or or like from the people that appear to be working here, there are no Dunestriders. There are no like, this is a guard.
Yeah. I've noticed a lack of any Dunestriders here. Is there no... Or is the settlement not affiliated with Luxnox, or any...
It's affiliated, but the reason why there's no guards is because... Well, the reason why there's no Dunestriders is... Well, he just points in the direction of the Dune Skimmer that's being constructed. And over there you can see... you can see Pastiche, a raven, and like 4 kind of motley crew looking people. As long as they're here, there's no problem.
Really? Out in truly the middle of nowhere.
Well, that's why we have the arbalests with these massive impaling bolts. Anybody can fire one. It's just a lever or a lever, just a stick that you pull.
No.
Ingenuity at its finest, certainly. Why, I could even do it if we were suddenly. He kind of looks around. Assailed by wanderers? Okay, good. I was afraid I would speak one into existence.
Oh, I believe that someone else has already had you covered today, so on that end. Well.
Right, hopefully that helps. Are you able to... You came in from what looked like the west. Do you have news of what's going on over there?
Oh, well. The bridge is still out. And snake people are attacking those that try to cross it.
Hang on, snake people?
Ah, yes. From down within the Laughing Gorge.
They seemed more like people snakes.
Oh.
People snakes.
Various entities on the spectrum of snake and people.
You're going to have to be more clear. What? This sounds terrible. What do you mean, people snakes? It's no wonder the bridge was destroyed if it's people snakes.
Truly is as it sounds. People who are also snakes, but not snake people, except when they were.
I don't understand. But alright.
Well, hopefully you never have to. They weren't exactly the nicest folk. They killed us, or tried to kill us and killed...
They killed you?
They tried to kill us, tried to send us down into the depths, and ambushed us as we tried to cross over the gap in the gorge.
Alright.
Killed a few of our raptors.
Well, I will simply not go that direction for some time. One can only hope that that Dune Skimmer is complete. Then we wouldn't have to deal with people who are snakes, and also people, and also snakes, killing raptors and people like myself. Oh, it hurts my head.
Well, let's, thank you for your information. And I apologize for giving you a headache, as it seems.
No, I'm sure it'll be fine. A nice guzzle of a fine wine ought to do me well.
Well, any settlement ought to have at least some sort of pavilion of at least drink.
Correct.
Is there anything around here?
Correct, you are. I'm the only wine purveyor around here, but as far as water goes, we've actually been through something of a scarcity. The foreman was to return, looks like he has, with a way of obtaining that water. I haven't been over with him to check yet. See, the Dagon church in the middle here was supposed to be in charge of maintaining our food and water supplies, but that didn't go as planned.
Well, so at least, would I be able to procure any food for the evening out here?
Food is also something we were a little bit scarce on. Things were honestly looking very poorly when the foremen took it upon themselves to go and solve the problem. Now that they're returned, I'm sure all of you are, we are all overjoyed because our food and water problems are both twice solved. Naturally, that is my hope. We'll have to ask. We'll have a conference this evening, I'm sure. We always do.
I see. One has to wonder why anyone would ever try and settle in a location with no access to food or water.
It's a desert, my lady. There's not much. But there's something of irrigation that was planned and is working over here to get water over here without being reliant on importing so much. And then with water, we could simply grow our own food, just like they do in Luxnox.
Yes, of course. But, well, hopefully your foreman came with the good news. So.
Yep, I'm confident in him. Everyone here trusts him completely, but we'll know for sure and in the detail tonight.
And, once again, thank you for your time.
Of course.
Good to meet you.
Of course. If you don't mind, stop by my emporium. It's a wine emporium. We would have the honor of your taste buds being delighted. It's Marin's Wine Emporium. That's me. I'm Marin.
Oh, Makayla, this is Twig.
Hello, Druid.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Well, I have personally decided to stay off of liquor for the time being. I'm sure maybe one of my companions will be interested in stopping by.
I completely understand. Young Twig, I'm sure a spot of wine will cure that cough.
Well, it couldn't hurt. At least I don't think it could hurt.
Alright.
It will hurt.
Looking forward to your visit in Luxembourg then. I'd sell you some as well, or sell you some here, but most of it is devoted towards the outpost here. Of course, I'd have to upcharge you, but and I don't wish to do that for a dear customer such as yourself. Well, so long. Lovely talking to you. Thank you for news from out west. Definitely valuable that there are people snakes. Ugh, he shudders.
A cold wind blows through Pastiche.
Oh no.
People who were also snakes.
I think that's why they changed it from snake people to people snakes. Smash cut to Pastiche as Makayla and Twig and Marin bid each other goodbyes, and Makayla and Twig continue wandering around to build up the rumor mill. And Pastiche, you approach the Raven, who you have learned is the foreman. I will rename him as such. The Foreman Raven. You have not escaped the foreman's notice, but they are busy and they do not greet you. What do you do?
As Pastiche approaches, they'll say, Foreman, the situation has changed. We will be here for a day or so. If you don't mind, I would like to make myself useful.
You capture the bird's attention. They were kind of like overseeing this group of four, just kind of hopping back and forth on their tome. One of them, the bugbear, is next to him. They appear to be sharing a parchment. More people arrive during your... one person arrives during your hailing of this raven. Pastiche! Wish to make yourself useful. What talents do you possess in construction?
Well, in construction specifically, not much, but I am an artist. I have spent much time studying the make of things.
Go on.
Well, I've painted sprawling cities, people, things, basically anything you could think of. I know the inner workings of many a machine.
Is that true? Roll persuasion or deception, whichever one that is. Let's see here. The bird is going to roll insight.
Is it an insightful raven?
bird responds after, is that true? Because Pastiche, I am acutely aware of what you tend to get into, and mechanical knowledge, construction, and knowing the workings of machines is not part of it.
Pastiche cuts them off. I am also particularly invigorated today, and am quite capable of physical labor, if that helps my case.
What's your strength score?
11.
Okay.
Does the Raven ask that?
No.
Lame.
It's a strong 11. That's good, baby.
What did you score on the fitness gram strength test that all adventurers take, Pastiche?
See, if you hold this paper and squeeze it, the color it comes, it determines your strength score. Well, we can always use another hand, picking things up and putting things down. Zegrith, will you give Pastiche some moving thing detail while we work on the Dune Skimmer? Zegrith puts down a few pieces of paper. You can see that it has lots of like drawings and schematics on it. And the bugbear addresses you. Oh, Pastiche, was it?
Yes, that is I.
Sure, we can give you. Hey, you look kind of vaguely familiar.
I can't imagine why.
Whatever. Alright, so here we are building this Dune Skimmer. We need more sail. We need more sail material. Will you go on over and pick up some canvas from Dorenzik? He's the hobgoblin over there on the south side. We need that canvas. Will you go get it and save me a trip?
Canvas, yes, of course.
Pastiche will turn and immediately start walking toward the south side of the camp.
Okay. The Raven turns back towards the bugbear named Zegrith and says, "Alright, now see here about this blueprint. If we need to make a few adjustments here." They go on and the two are conversing about what constructions need to be made and like which addendums need to be made on this blueprint that they have. During your conversation, they are joined by more people. It looks like the whole encampment eventually shows up, including Beaver Village and their cohort. And Pastiche, you help them out, and it's easy enough to get this canvas. Nothing interesting happens during you carting it back over, but you definitely achieve it. And you're just given more tasks by the bugbear that appears to be second in command around here, named Zegrith, and you're just given more tasks, and just you hop to it. With your invigoration, you are able to participate and alleviate some of the more menial tasks that would be simply time-consuming, but don't require like special intrinsic construction knowledge. So you're helpful. Yes, great. The Raven appears appreciative. The Zegrith, the bugbear, and his immediate entourage appear appreciative. Vera Val just eyeballing you the entire time. The Raven is hopping about, consorting diagrams and schematics, which are obviously blueprints for the Dune Skimmer, and still hopping about on this large book, this large tome, as it were. It seems to get bigger every time you look at it. Looks like it has 1,000 pages in it.
Xalia is going to wake up for a nap, immediately get an idea, walk as herself straight back into the main temple, and attempt to use Water Sphere on the fountain.
Water sphere on the fountain. Okay.
Mhm.
You go ahead and put water sphere in the chat so I can read that spell. Oh, water spear. I thought you said
Yeah.
water sphere. I was like, oh, okay.
No.
Let's see here. What happens? Yeah, make a give me a damage roll. That's pretty good. A 9. All right. So this spear is uniquely attuned to a part to the plane of water,
Yeah.
as you have learned and you know. Water drips from it constantly, in fact. When you do this, water jettisons out from the spear and just and glugs over the fountain, washing away all the sand, soaking the fountain. The water... I don't think anything else special happens, but I mean, there's now like water sitting on like in the bowls of the fountain. You filled up this fountain. It is no longer dry. It is now filled. It is now containing water.
And not being refilled. I understand. I also like that no one stopped her.
Yeah.
No one stopped you because as you look over, you can see that these three like robed priestly people are in awe. They're in shock. They're like, she is blessed, blessed by Dagon.
This is, you can do this repeatedly, right?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly? Yeah. We're gonna keep doing it.
Okay. You have achieved a fan club. Yeah, the damage was just like how much water comes out.
Okay.
The two humans are like especially emphatic. As you continue using the spear, the Loxodon kind of like steps back and just appears to be quietly observing. The two humans are super hyped and pumped. Like they're cheering you on and saying, "Blessed by Dagon! Where have you come, O strange traveler?"
Just gonna kind of think. I assume it's not like it's a fountain, so you obviously like it's not like a well or something that you can climb down.
Right.
Yeah. She's gonna kind of fold her arms, sit there.
The longer you do nothing and fold your arms and sit there, the less enthusiastic the two priests become, and they just kind of eventually lose interest and just start wandering around and go back to whatever they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, because like she's only temporarily filling it.
It is definitely enwatered right now.
But it will not be in water forever. I need this to go fishy mode, so I'm not leaving it with you guys.
I mean, do we even know that it's potable water?
No, it's probably seawater.
Xalia, when she permanently ruins a formerly good container of water by covering it in salt. Salty seawater.
She's just gonna directly poke the fountain, not do anything special with it, just poke the fountain.
It is wet.
Wow.
Actually, roll investigation.
Okay.
It is wet.
It sure is wet.
Xalia, did you know that water isn't actually wet?
I will bite you.
Roll deception.
It's not deception, it's persuasion.
I fucking will. You have demonstrable proof that I will fucking
I know,
follow
I'm
through.
aware.
Alright. Let's see. Anything else from Xalia? As you learn that the fountain is wet when you apply water to it.
She's probably just gonna pace around it frustrated for a little bit and then just leave.
Okay. Xalia exits. Let's see here.
I'll try to pull the water dry stuff on me too.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. What was it?
Bug tried to pull the water isn't wet on me too.
Oh.
But it's true!
He got poked for his trouble.
Let's see. Pastiche, in your efforts of assisting these people all day, you do notice a rolled up parchment that appears to have been forgotten. Like it is in a position where it must have dropped off of the scaffolding and is just resting in the sand, and no one appears to be paying it any attention.
We'll pick that up and take a look at it.
Okay, you pick it up. You take a look at it. Roll Arcana for me.
I'm good at these.
What'd you get?
18.
That's pretty good. You pick it up, take a look at it, and you get the sense that it is a parchment, and the words on it appear to be just inherently magical, like they slightly glitter. You have found a scroll that is describing how to perform a magical incantation.
Okay.
It is beyond your skill level to cast. The incantation that it describes is a level of magic, or sorry, a circle of magic that is only like beyond normal. It is a level of magic that you've only seen. Sorry, a circle magic that you've only seen a few individuals be able to cast. One of them is your tutor, your master, and just other people, just a very scant few. The spell is Fabricate.
Okay.
It seems to be describing creating something from next to nothing. And then looking around at the scaffolding and the construction of this dune skimmer here, seems pretty obvious what its implications could be and how useful it would be for construction. So you have a spell scroll of Fabricate in your inventory. Well, your Arcana allowed you to realize what it is instantly, rather than be befuddled about it.
Yeah, okay. We'll pocket that.
Okay. And also during your time here, Makayla and Twig, you also learned this. Everyone greatly reveres this bird this tiny little thing. Everyone listens to him, everyone holds him in very high regard, except the people that are hanging out with the Dagon inside the main tent, even though they hold the majority of the encampment. This bird is Makayla and Twig are able to learn that this bird will teach anyone who wants to listen about anything that they know. And Pastiche, you learn that these 4 people that are kind of like in second in command, just through taking orders, through hearing the Raven converse with them, you learn that they used to be pirates, and that they had a run of bad luck, and here they are making something that is close to a pirate ship. So they thought it was awesome, and the Raven took them in under their wing, as they say, and the Raven is teaching them how to be better people in society.
Cool.
If like when me and Twig were walking around asking people, and if other people had brought up the bird, the Raven, Makayla would have asked if like what they knew of its past, like where it had come from and why it knows any, like why is it trying to build a boat?
Let's see. The answer that you get is
anyone knows anything about it? Yeah.
Roll a investigation check, but use your charisma modifier.
Oh, okay. So that's gonna be charisma check, and then it's gonna be what? Plus, I don't think I have anything for investigation, so that's just what it is.
Okay, so if
Plus a 10.
All right, so you're not proficient in investigation. Okay.
Nope.
The main idea that you get is that people are unaware of their past, but simply because they're every time they ask, they're unable to get the bird to talk about it. Instead, they go off on some tangent, much like what you've encountered.
I see.
But they do know that the bird is foreman, and they are here completing a job of this boat because it would be an impressive transportation success, and it seems like the bird wants to be a part of that.
Very lucrative venture, potentially. Yeah. Alright, cool.
Yep. And if there is nothing else from anybody, if there is, let me know. If there's nothing else from anybody, we can just zoop to you guys battening down the hatches for the evening.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, I don't have anything else to be doing today.
You come all set.
Okay.
I got nothing specific.
Alright.
Done.
Alright. Then let me turn the lights down.
Whoa.
Nice.
Change the music to something more relaxing. Yeah. You all are able to get inside the construction that Chuman has done. We'll put you kind of like right here. Zoop, zoop. Give you a little light, little campfire action. Torch. Blammo. Let's see here. Oops. Yeah, so you guys are all around this campfire. You can hear the sound of this nameless city has died down as everyone else also begins battening down the hatch. There is a you see a bunch of people start moving around and congregating towards the scaffolding where the dune skimmer is being constructed. But here you are, among yourselves, among your companions, able to do whatever you like.
think Zoaz will stay up and take first watch in this case.
Okay.
Azalea got a nap earlier, so she's probably gonna join him.
Okie dokie.
And Chuman's most likely tired from setting up camp, so he's sleeping.
Okay. Sleepies. Korrikan will also choose to sleep.
Makayla would probably sleep.
Twig will sleep for now, but he can take like the later watch.
Okay. Any volunteers for Twig's watch or the third watch?
I imagine Pastiche would be up for third watch.
Okay. Makayla?
Hmm?
Do you want to you want to go to sleep, or do you want to be a second watch or third watch?
Is there a watch not taken?
Nope.
I think we have.
We've got all of them.
Yeah, Makayla would just sleep. Just,
Goodbye, Pastiche.
Pastiche turns themselves two-dimensional.
Bang.
Just
Flat.
did a Super Paper Mario.
Yeah. Alright. Zoaz and Xalia, a unique pair on the first watch. Go ahead and roll perception.
My special technique. Seeing things.
Azalea has decided that she's going to become a creature with longer arms than the rest of its body. And just kind of sit there, gargoyling.
Okay. So as you see Xalia become a gargoyle, the epitome of a sentinel.
Mhm.
And that's normal.
She takes a
Cat behavior.
position where, like, kind of sitting on her haunches, knees going up, in just typical gargoyle fashion. Hands down
Yes.
on the sand. The rest of your group behind you snoozes. What would you like to do, Zoaz?
Have anything interesting in my inventory? I think Zoaz might pull out the elliptical dragon shard that they found near the tomb
Okay,
and sort of turn it over in his hands.
sure. You turn over your hands. It's tingly.
Yeah.
Certainly. It's obviously magical, and with this you kind of finger it with your claws and kind of move it from hand to hand, examining it. You get you feel, the longer you hold on to it, and you feel it kind of like form some kind of invisible tether with you, and you get the sense that you can latch onto this tether, and you can attune to its magical natures that you can sense inside it.
I think Zoaz will do that. We'll sort of follow that feeling.
Alright, yeah, you follow that feeling into this little ellipsoid dragon shard thing, and you follow that, and then it solidifies, and you attune to this thing. It imparts upon you flashes of knowledge and events, and you reflect on previous mission trips where you were guiding someone in, where things had gone wrong. It gives you a flash. It imparts, perhaps if you had done this in another way, that would have helped that situation. And you attune to the Ion Stone of Knowledge. It forms a tether with your mind, and in your inventory, the ellipsoid dragon shard becomes Ioun Stone of Knowledge. It floats around next to you. It calmly orbits your head. It lifts off from your hands.
Oh wow.
And it calmly orbits your head, just goes around, orbits your torso. Just anywhere there's free space where it can put yourself as the focal point of this orbit. And it hangs out there. That you now have a rock rolling around you, floating in the air. And you can do Ioun Stone of Knowledge stuff.
Nice.
You can, you have the item card there. You can do whatever you like with it.
Yep.
It is now yours. You're attuned to it.
I have one quick question about this.
Yeah.
It says spend one of your hit dice. That is different from burning it with the feature that we gained, where
Correct.
it's temporary and it comes back.
Correct.
Cool. Then that is my only
Yeah,
question.
it's the same.
Zoaz
as
will
if
probably
you,
watch it spin.
Yeah, it's the same as if you did the short rest
Got it.
and like spent hit dice there.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. There you go. What did you say after that? You said something.
Zoaz will probably just watch it spin.
Okay. Yeah, it's just this spins around you. Itself spinning slightly as it orbits you.
Mhm.
It doesn't have a static trajectory. It's dynamic. Sometimes it'll spin just flatly, sometimes it goes diagonally.
Neat.
Yep. Okay. With a perception check of 12 and 16, sorry, and 6. Not much goes on in the camp. No one disturbs you. There are no wanderers coming to eat you. And you have a clear night. Your watch comes to an end, and we come to Twig.
Twig is gonna wish Zoaz good night as he stretches and gets up. And as the others are getting settled in, he's just gonna take a look around camp and see if there's anything going on or if anyone else is still up and about at this time of night.
Okay, make a perception. Okay. You're by yourself. You don't necessarily... you don't really... Sorry, God.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just coughed. Excuse me. You don't really see much aside from the conference earlier appears to be over as people are moving away from the scaffold and going back to their business. You can see the raven kind of flit up and then flit on top of the pennant of the middle structure, the middle big tent. It's kind of, you can see them look around. And they appear to be settling down. You do hear a sound. It happens soon after the bird flies off towards one of the watchtowers. And you hear like a metal sound, like a metal clanging sound, like clong, clong.
Is that coming from
It's
where
from the direction of the
bird-
middle tent. Sorry.
Oh, the middle tent.
Yeah.
Twig will take a few steps over and see if he can find what's causing that noise.
Okay. You hear a couple footsteps. They're moving away from you. Like you hear the sound a little bit more though. Just clunk, clunk, clunk. And then you hear like a couple footsteps among sand. They seem to be like hurried footsteps. But you maneuver over there. You end up to the north of the tent. You don't see anything apparent here. Go ahead and roll another perception check. An 18. That's decent. You look around at the source of what could have produced this metal noise, this metallic noise, and you find a set of pipes on the ground, coming away from the middle tent here. They are just steel gray. There's a couple of valves on them, and they go into the ground.
So it's like sort of like in the sand.
Yeah.
Twig will like try to dig it up and see if he can find out what it is.
Okay. Yeah, you take a few moments and you grab your dagger and use it as a spade and dig it up a bit. These are obviously broken. They're disconnected even to where something is. That does make sense. To where they're disconnected. They're broken. They're inoperable. You can find a couple valves further down. They've been turned off and such.
Okay. Twig could probably take a step back and start heading back to the group.
Okay. You get there easily enough. No one accosts you.
Once he gets over there, he's just gonna take a look out to the east and see if there's like anything outside the camp happening.
Okay. One more perception. Another 18. With an 18, you can see a silhouette. The moon's light is able to grant you vision of a lone silhouette. It appears to be humanoid. You can't make out much more than that because it is dark outside. It is illuminated only by the moon. I should have made you do disadvantage, but that's fine. Not really able to determine like what they're doing or like where they're going or any other details, but there is a humanoid silhouette to the east.
Okay. For the rest of the watch, Twig's probably just gonna mostly stay focused on that silhouette, and just occasionally checking back in the camp.
All right. During one of the times that you check back, you can see Pastiche stirring for their turn.
As they start to get up, Twig would probably point out the figure off in the distance to the east.
Pastiche will take note, wish Twig a good night, and then pull an eye out of one of their pockets before slowly squeezing it in their hand as a bit of gold dust pours out before reforming in the air.
So you get this this invisible sensor that you conjure, and you have an acute awareness of where it is, but no one can actually see it.
Right. And hearing about this figure, Pastiche is going to send the sensor their way.
Okay. It doesn't make that noise, but you let's see here. The Arcane Eye has normal vision and dark vision to 30 feet and can look in every direction.
Yeah. Which I interpret as like a 30-foot radius sphere around it is everything I can see.
Yeah, it's slightly disorienting being able to see in every direction at once. It causes you to, like, it's so disorienting that you briefly move to the ground and take a knee and steady yourself. But as you receive all of this information at once that you're not used to, but you overcome it and you are able to filter out, sort, and mentally receive this visual information properly. There you see, as the invisible sensor gets close enough, this humanoid is shambling through the sands, almost pulling one side of its body before taking a normal step with its left. And this gait is clearly off balance. Their muscles and bones are visible on their right arm. They're kind of hunched over, so it's kind of pulling their right side. They should probably tuck their intestines back in. They're looking a little loose there. It's obviously a wanderer.
Yeah. Before Twig can fully rest for the night, Pastiche is going to kind of nudge them.
It's a wanderer. We should deal with it.
Twig will nod. And he'll ask Pastiche, does it seem like there are any others around it?
Pastiche is going to have the eye kind of circle around the wanderer.
Okay. Let's have the eye do a perception check. So by that I mean let's have Pastiche do a perception check.
Right.
Looks good.
As far as I can tell, it's the only one.
Twig nods. Should we both go, or it shouldn't take too long?
Well, I would certainly prefer to have your backup.
Alright. Let's get this over with.
Pastiche is going to start marching to the east.
Twig will draw his bow and follow.
As you do this, you hear a high-pitched voice, as if, someone was talking to a child, but without the condescension from the raven. And say, "Hey, excuse me, are you after that?" This voice comes from the southern watchtower that you are close to. As the raven flops up on the handrail and perches.
Pastiche turns to the raven.
Yes, we were going to handle that wanderer before it got any closer.
It bothers you, does it? Alright, well, no need.
It does not bother you?
It's not close enough.
Well, better safe than sorry, yes?
Allow me to show you one of my inventions in action. Go get its attention. Bring it here. Don't engage it. Let's do things carefully, so we don't injure you further.
Well, if you say so.
Pastiche will continue their march to the east.
Okay. It is very easy to get a Wanderer's attention. So there's
Okay.
no check there. The Wanderer notices you, and like the head kind of snaps, and then through the night you can hear, and the Wanderer starts running eerily quickly towards you.
Pastiche is going to take this opportunity to paint a few doubles.
Like, oh snap! It's gaining. It's already almost upon you.
Okay.
Like, shabam.
My goodness.
Anything from Twig?
Twig is gonna. Are we like relatively close to the camp?
Yes.
All right, he's gonna just take a few steps away from the Wanderer and
Yeah, you
get
guys
ready
are-
with his bow.
You guys are kind of like right
Pesky.
here. Yeah.
Meanwhile, is going to take a step towards the Wanderer.
Behind you, the bird flaps on top of a like a wooden wheel, like a ship wheel, and perches on an angle of one, and when it lands, the weight causes the wheel to turn, and the bird, still holding onto the wheel, turns with it, just spins around on the wheel, and you can hear ropes and pulley mechanisms going, and the bird taps the center of the wheel, and there's a loud twong. And Pastiche, as you approach the Wanderer, they are sent backward 15 feet as they are impaled by a very large bolt from an arbalest that is launched from the tower. Just whether it's dead or not is not the issue. It's not going anywhere.
Ah,
But yeah, it's dead. It does 1 million damage.
oh.
As far as you're concerned.
Twig
Pastiche. Oh, go ahead.
Twig looks at the Wanderer, and then he turns and looks like he turns to look where the bolt came from and just lets out a low whistle.
Pastiche turns towards the Raven.
Impressive. But if someone must be manning that, don't you sleep?
Oh yes, I sleep. The bird kind of flits down next to you guys. I sleep, of course, just like anyone does. Take shifts, just like you appear to.
I see.
I'm not some omniscient presence after all. As much as I wish I were.
Well, pardon my curiosity, but it seems you've only 2 watchtowers. Does the town not have blind spots?
Perhaps. But I do hope that we're able to finish construction on the Dune Skimmer, which will in turn get us more presence from Luxnox when it is complete and working. And then we'll be able to shuttle people to and from here all the time. We'll have more and better guards. It's not like we're in a pickle. It's not like we're in trouble. But we are more than capable of defending ourselves, even if the watchtowers are only 2 in number.
Well, you have left quite an impression. I wish you the best of luck. It would be terrible if a tragedy were to befall before your work is done.
Yes, it would. And thank you, Pastiche. I do appreciate the good words and also your help today. You indeed have made more of an impact than you might consider.
Well, you've a lofty goal. If I can lighten the load, even but for a day, I am honored.
Perhaps you have, and perhaps the honor is yours.
Well, if that is all, I believe we'll be getting back to our camp now.
All right. Have a good night, you too. The bird flaps off. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Pastiche is going to return to camp. Continue circling the perimeter with their arcane eye for the hour that it lasts.
Okay.
Twig just takes another look back at the Wanderer and then heads back to camp to get some sleep.
The Wanderer is motionless. Twig heads back to sleep. The arcane eye maneuvers over the camp. Let's see. Does anything happen? Let's find out if something happens. I can't believe it. The rest of the night is uneventful.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, and everyone can hit their long rest button. Oh wait, no, we have Makayla, don't we? No, Makayla went to sleep. I somehow got in my head that she was doing the watch. Everybody can hit their long rest button and become rejuvenated for the new day. Let me crank this crank the sun back up. Meow.
My eyes.
All right. You all awake to a new day. The sound of construction returns to your ears. Bang bang, bong bong, walk walk. And what's the plan?
Well, I think Zoaz would spend his early morning preparing himself for the day, praying to Selene, that sort of thing.
Packing up, getting ready to go, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I think once everybody's ready, the plan would be to head out to Lux Nox. Or start along the road, that is.
All right.
Mhm.
You can see, as you're all preparing, let me get this light out of here. Get out of here, campfire. You can see, as everyone's preparing, a brief flash of light from the awning that the raven inhabits. You can see him kind of hopping around his tomb. And it is punctuated with an "I knew it." They zip around towards the opening of the Dagon worshippers, saying, "I knew it! Come out! Get out of here right now!" What do you guys do?
We would want to see what all the fuss is about.
I would also check to see the fuss.
Okay. As you all walk over here, there's a scuffle, some form of altercation, argument between a bird and and three priests. One of them a very large Loxodon. didn't hear the first bit of conversation, but what you do see is the Raven plops down their book, their large tome that must have like 2,000 pages in it, and they kind of hop around and they move a wing towards these creatures. Sorry, not these creatures. Towards these. Well, I guess they're all creatures because they're different people. Towards the Loxodon and the two human priests wearing robes. And what you do see by the time you get over here is all of them making a saving throw. They all make wisdom saving throws.
Huh.
I guess you don't see them making a wisdom saving throw.
Well, they're rolling the dice, right?
We can hear the dice clattering from outside the tents.
Yeah, they each just roll dice. Okay. Let me tell you, they all fail. What you do see as you all come around the corner is the Loxodon, these two priests, all slurp, plop, are no longer there. And in their places are 3 snails.
Huh.
The bird, the raven, has rightly ruffled up and become an orb. Extremely frustrated. Closes the book. It goes... disappears. And the bird kind of hops out and sees you. Oh! Can I help you? The Borb says.
What?
There are 3 of these things, as you can see in chat.
Snails don't do so hot in the desert.
Seeing you all stunned, the Raven continues. Well,
You heard some commotion. Is that something happened?
yes, I figured out that these 3 were holding out on me. Our irrigation project, very important to the sustainability of this outpost, has been sabotaged by none other than these 3. Something about, oh, this isn't right. This isn't right. This is not how it's supposed to be. Boats should be on the water, not flying through the air. Imbeciles! So I turned them into something appropriate. Much like a slug, Dagon worshippers must serve some purpose, but it's hard to imagine what.
Turn them into snails.
Raven just looks at you, doesn't answer you verbally.
Did you have proof of their sabotage?
I have the best proof, magical proof. Here, let me show you. The bird kind of hops, flops over to the north. You can join him, and the bird finds goes to the pipes that Twig dug up. I've been searching for these for quite some time, but only now was I able to locate them. As you can see, they're broken. These are irrigation pipes. Surely the lifeblood that, in all senses of the word, that brings water here. So no more do I have to create water out of thin air.
I see. Do you think those 3 in the tent broke them?
Yes. Yes, I do. And I know I do. Gesundheit. which you'll recall is the Khorzaire way of,
Mm-hmm.
of blessing someone. So, as you can see, I have busy work to do, but perhaps the load will be lightened now that we can get our water going again. Please, don't allow me to delay you any further. Bird takes a hop, a skip, and a flap over towards the scaffolding.
Do you plan to simply leave them as snails?
The bird calls over. It's like, yes, it's a timeout of sorts. Call it detention.
You don't suppose there will be any sort of mutiny when they return?
The raven's gone.
Xalia picks up a snail.
Xalia has acquired a snail.
Da-da-da-da.
I have a sound effect for that actually, but I'll leave it off.
Well, I, for one, don't find it our business to interfere. I'm going to go help Zoaz set up for our departure.
Yeah, Zoaz didn't follow you over. He's been messing with the raptors.
Is the water from yesterday still in the pump?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Xalia's gonna take the snail in the water.
Okay.
Oh no.
And that's water.
You place the snail in the water.
They'll drown.
Rip snail.
Zoaz, you're not there.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Zoaz is chilling.
Not putting him in the water.
You
Okay.
put the snail on the edge of the fountain.
Is this like inside the tent?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. You
It's up
have
to you what
your
happens next.
deed done. You have placed the snail on the edge of the fountain. Satisfied with yourself.
If their snailification is as temporary as the bird implied, well, can't imagine they'll be particularly happy coming out of it, and I don't think we want to be here when that happens. Might be best to try and leave as soon as we can.
Does this fountain have multiple layers?
As to.
Okay. Xalia's gonna pick up a second snail
Okay.
and put that snail on the second layer.
With a certain determination, you pluck a snail from its resting place on the ground and deposit it on the second on the second tier of the fountain. You are satisfied
Okay.
with yourself.
She is. She's leaving now.
Okay. Xalia returns to the group. Alright. Is is the plan to go to Luxnox?
I think so.
Alright.
Seems that way.
Let's get you to Luxnox. Zoaz, take us out of here. How do you you get the you hook up your raptors. I can tell your raptors because they're the ones that are energetic.
Yep.
You load them up, Korakon's satisfied, everybody's satisfied, Xalia in particular, and you head east. Northeast, actually. You head northeast. Luxnox is in sight. And by golly,
By golly, we're gonna get there.
by golly, you're gonna get there. Today. The sand is traversable. I don't know where I was going with that. Your raptors are able to traverse over the sand. Their night's rest are get out. Their night's rest are have rejuvenated your raptors as well, and they're easy to bear your load. You made good time. Luxnox, this looming jewel, this looming architecture comes in, and you arrive towards it. Luxnox is a unique city in which it is, for one, the largest city of Khorzaire. And there is a river that goes through it. It is the Dagon River, named, and as you all can see this, let's see here. Zoaz, I would have given you some stuff to tour guide, but there's a part in here that references you, so
okay.
When you get here, the music changes.
Cool.
You arrive at Luxnox. Lo and behold, there is nothing that impedes you because the wanderer out here was blown up by an arbalest. You traverse over a couple of kind of not greenhouses, but land that has been converted into farms, which is astounding because you're in the desert. But it's not new information to Twig and Zoaz. Irrigation over here makes it possible like that. Don't question it, or I'll give you psychic damage. This lovely city of Luxnox, capital of Olga, and could be debated to be the capital of Khorzaire in general. You come upon it, and you can see from the outside this architectural jewel is built upon the banks of a wide river called the Dagon River. The outer walls that keep it safe are made of clay brick. They're glazed with stunning blue of lapis lazuli. The river's blue-green waters divide the city in half, making two sprawling districts, Lux and Nox. There's sun-soaked clay buildings. They're crusted with foliage, shrubs hanging over walkways to offer shade from intense heat. There are palm trees that also dot crossroads and intersections. Reed-bound boats bob along the surface of the river that flows into the city that bear goods to this oasis from across the vast surrounding desert. You have traversed endless arid stretches of sand, red, stony mountains, and traversed through badlands. You've traversed a bottomless pit. You were almost catapulted across this bottomless pit. You've gone under. You've gone over Khorzaire. You've jumped across floating platforms, all to get to Luxnox. There's a city known for its boundless plenty of food, delight, caring. Even the Doomstriders here are warm and pleasant and friendly. As you walk in, there are thin aqueducts that run from the Dagon River that branch into both sides of the city, feeding the foliage that crests nearly every building. You walk on these sandy streets. It's like walking through a perpetual garden, full of people of varying stations, cultures, classes, bustling between pockets of shade. A line of Lizardfolk laborers jog along the streets, their sandals kind of slapping on the sand. They've just got plain tunics that are already soaked in sweat. There's a hobgoblin man wearing a robe of light lavender-colored fabric, shouting at them to keep their pace. He's got like a full beard that's been braided with golden beads, and it's been made shining and fragrant with oil. More workers, gnomes, elves, dwarves, they're all toiling, pressing on, just turning around towards a looming castle-like structure in the distance. It kind of straddles the river, being on both Lux and Nux side. It has a few tiers that stretch to marvelous heights, and all around you, people are hustling, people are bustling. There are people that are laughing, smiling, and getting up to all sorts of stuff. You can see a small crowd being drawn through the market stalls. These market stalls offer fresh food, fresh produce, fresh water, different items brought in from all over the continent and off the continent. And many purveyors, salespeople, exchanging goods, exchanging information. All that's going on. There's an intrepid explorer trying to hawk off treasures buried and uncovered. There is a woodworker selling lavishly tooled carvings. There's a group of worshippers that are talking about and extolling the virtues of the sun. All of this together is Lux Nox. So nice they named it twice, as a Dune Strider kind of mutters to mutters to the side of you. The place is a grand city. To everyone, it's Lux Nox, capital of Alga and all that. But to Zoaz and Twig, it's home.
Nice.
As the light crests over like these craggy desert cliffs and pieces through the building, a shimmer catches your eye. A figure walking around, clothing perfectly dyed to match the myriad colors. You can see the lovely Merchant Queen, Zoaz Raincaller, already walking around and speaking to everybody. And you can see a hand kind of reaches up to uncover the halo of like curls and beads and veil that covers her. She gives you a friendly smile, and her eyes are kind of like deep oasis pools. They speak of an enduring warmth as pleasant as a morning's balmy breeze. She gives you a look and then continues on away from you. And let me repeat, and it would be better to put it here instead. To everyone else, this is Lux Nox, city, capital city of Alga, and home of the sanctioned trade of food, foodstuffs, victuals, all that kind of sustenance. But to Zoaz and Twig, it's home.
I feel home. I'm excited for Lux Nox.
Sounds pretty cool.
As the Dune Striders let you in, they kind of uncross after you get your papers in order. And as the Dune Strider kind of jokes around so nice, they named it twice, haha. You're able to go on in. You can talk to each other briefly, or we can simply end the session.
I think this would be like a good stopping point.
Alright, and that's where we'll end tonight's session. As you arrive, finally, at the destination of your delivery. So long for now. Good night.
We did it.
And
Good night.
congratulations. See what the adventure holds in the future.
Night.